Table for truth.
Yeah, I just need to kick back, relax a little bit. Not too long, mind you, but just, I had a kick ass day today. It was great. I was up in Barrie. I went to a place called the Spotted Cow Cafe. A little shout out to my friend Rachel. She owns the Spotted Cow Cafe out in Barrie. Worked on some measurements for some gigs that I'm looking to do for possibly, yeah, just like in a lab up at WPI. So that's kind of cool. So I just wanted to get out and just do that. And went for a walk on Barry Falls Dam. If you've ever been out there, it's very lovely this time of the year out there in the fall. And then I went to my friend the Stratus's house and had a nice dinner, and we talked about, ironically, issues of the day. It's very very good conversation. And after such a wholesome day, I came here, and I actually just got here, just when you got here, like maybe 2 minutes before you got here.
Excellent.
That's been my day. What about you? Anything fun?
Nothing fun today. Yesterday, I went down to the Cape.
Yeah.
A friend of mine and a group that I joined doing a study for the Alzheimer's Association, Memory and Aging.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And so we usually meet on Mondays, but now we're spreading out our meeting times. But they wanted to have a get together, and one of our members, very kind man, has a cottage on the Cape, and he invited us down, and that's where I went yesterday.
Nice.
So
Luau's parties, that kind of thing?
well, it was more of a cookout, and it was a little chilly overall. It was 70 degrees with the ocean breeze blowing, but we had a very good time.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice, wholesome time on my
Well, I enjoyed the drive, too, so...
I've never enjoyed the drive to the Cape. In fact, that's one of the reasons I avoid it like the plague. Even in the weekdays, like when there's no traffic. Granted, it's only an hour and a half, 2 hours, but there's just something about driving through 495, going over that bridge. It's like, I don't know, man. Yeah, oh God, there's so much. There's just too much. It's hard to keep up, bro.
Okay, well,
You
we have some. You assigned me some homework.
Yeah, no, there's
and I need to go through that before we get into modern stuff.
No, that's fair. Let's we have more than enough material, if you will. A friend of mine actually today was telling me, you want to make a good podcast, and he had a point. We never introduce our names in the podcast. Nobody's asked because nobody writes. Nobody's left any kind of comments in the comments section, so it's fine. The way I see it, it doesn't really matter. But for the record, my name is Claude.
And I'm Tyson.
And Tyson, yes. And my full name, I go as Claudio Xavier Rhodes Sosos Polanco Ledesma, the first. The one and only, as far as I know, within my family. But
and I am Tyson, son of Tyson.
Nice. I love it. Yeah. So there you go. Mystery solved. That's all one needs to know. The other thing is we do have a list, like you were saying, of topics for the evening.
No, well, not just a list. You gave me homework last week.
Yeah, let's get into that. That had to do with the Hawaii fires, right?
Okay.
All right. So
today, the Maui News announced that Lahana residents, probably not pronouncing that correctly.
And this is the aftermath, folks, of the fires, just so you know. We're trying to debate what really happened because there's just so much, as they say, conspiracy theory out there. But there's a lot of unanswered questions, too. Sorry, keep going.
Well, not for me.
Okay, fair enough.
For our conspiracy theorists.
All right.
But residents could return to their property. They started last week. Residents, property owners, business owners were allowed back into their fire-damaged property. And Maui officials announced. And so basically what happened was Maui's Emergency Management Agency determined that there were areas in the fire restriction zone that are now safe for reentry. And so as they're clearing places, along with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency (EPA. They have cleared approximately 464 properties. So officials strongly advise those with health conditions, especially respiratory issues, not enter the burn areas. And they are also discouraged from taking children in the areas, noting the health and safety concerns and long-term effects.
Well, huzzah! That solves that, right? Except that the conspiracy theorist inside of me, okay, not me, the conspiracy theorist, wants to go. What about all the dead bodies unaccounted for? Missing persons? Um, Hypothetically, now this is going overboard. I know this is just for flair. The effects of direct energy laser that could have incinerated certain parts if they wanted to get rid of the ashes and the residue, but
Those the
you can't prove it now because the EPA went through there.
lasers that also burnt up half of California, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I don't know. Is she right or wrong? I'm not sure yet. You know, I know she was. She had some points on the Senate floor today about the Hunter Biden thing, but that's another story.
You know
for another
what?
Time.
That would be surprising. You know why?
What is that?
Because she is a House of Representative member. And
I'm sorry. You're right. It wasn't Senate floor. It was.
That would be amazing,
Congress.
but that would not be surprising.
I'm
she
sorry.
Goes everywhere.
Kids, I apologize. My lore on the actual infrastructure of our government. I pulled what they used to call in the 80s a boner. Excuse my language. It's a vulgar term, but anyway, the going back to the wildfires, the Maui fires. Okay, so that solves that according to one side of the press. The press it has. Where'd you get your news sites, by the way? What's the website?
That was Maui News.
Maui News.
Again, I go local. I go right to the source, right. And they know what's happening on the ground.
Okay.
So,
and are the citizens satisfied with the outcome?
No one's ever satisfied. Not everybody is ever satisfied with anything.
Are the majority of citizens, while obviously suffering from the trauma of this massive fire, psychologically satisfied with any conspiracy theories they might have spawned during this time of uncertainty? Are they like, well, that makes sense. There was a fire. We weren't allowed on our property because the good people of the EPA and other government officials that don't have a bad reputation, I might add, because they did an excellent job in Ohio there, with the trains and everything there. The what was the name of that place? The New Palestine, right? They did an exceptionally good job cleaning out that and getting rid of all the contaminants in the water and telling people, there wasn't a real hazard.
That is nice to hear because you beat them up initially.
You're right. Wait a minute. I'm being sarcastic. Sorry. Okay, my apologies. Did the people of Maui grudge or just question? Well, if these are the same guys that were, kind of in charge of New Palestine or East Palestine, I'm not sure if we're satisfied with they came in, they cleaned out. What did they clean out? Why weren't we allowed to be there right away?
Hazardous material. Anytime you burn anything, there's a potential for hazardous material to be exposed.
So wear an OSHA mask.
Jesus.
Can't you wear an OSHA mask? I'm just playing the devil's advocate, okay? I'm just an
Are you talking about a scuba mask? You said ocean mask. What's an ocean
mask? Isn't the OSHA mask the actual respiratory mask? The OSHA approved mask.
Oh, OSHA.
Yeah, OSHA.
I thought you said ocean.
No, not ocean. Billy Ocean manufactured this amazing face mask that protects you from chemicals, but that never got popular. No, that didn't actually happen. Sorry. An OSHA mask.
Oh, OSHA.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I'll give you a bonus if you tell me what OSHA stands for.
Man, put me on the spot. That's fair, but it's funny too because I used to actually do demolition gigs too. All I know is that I had an OSHA mask.
Would you're pontificating?
I guess.
Would you like a hint?
Yeah, by all means. Occupational, seasonal, safety, hazardous, air breathing device.
Okay, all right, we'll go with that.
All right. Yeah, listen. Here's the thing. I worked demolition. This is what. Again, somebody help me out here. Maybe in the audience, if anybody's listening to this. The 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 fact is, I worked demolition when I was doing construction here and there. I did get demolition gigs, and we'd go into the buildings like Smash Brothers, and there would be we'd actually, you know what our specialty was? Repairing burnt buildings, like three deckers in Worcester. Um, and I remember like we were walking through charred crap, and it was and I do distinctly remember one of my gigs as the gopher and the lowest person on the totem pole of the crew was to actually scrape like ash off the ceiling of one of the burned rooms that had just suffered a massive fire. I did have an OSHA mask on, and I had like a white hazmat suit, but my face was exposed. And I think the moral of the story is that with very little training, just given a mask and a suit, okay, and a razor blade or maybe a scraper spatula, I was allowed to go into a haunted house with a lot of ash and just burnt residue. Why couldn't the people of Maui return to their buildings wearing, steel-toed boots, make sure don't step on rusty nails, wear an OSHA mask because it's required for you to do it. You're welcome to go in there, but you go at your own risk. And, recommended wear a white hazmat suit, but I don't think that really is that big of an issue because you're exposed to the elements as well. But let's just say there was some chemicals roaming around. How is the Maui residencies any different than the ones in Worcester? I would argue the ones in Worcester probably more ghetto.
Uh,
Not the whole place.
You weren't on your own property when you were doing.
No, I was on. Right? I was on Russell Street actually fixing a 3-decker that had been burnt.
Right, and so you were contracted to do that, were you not?
Yeah, but I had very little training.
It wasn't. You weren't a civilian going back to their property, not knowing about the hazards.
It took me 15 minutes to get into a suit and wear a mask.
The EPA is there.
No, but that still doesn't add up. Like, they could just simply have said, listen, this is hazardous, so this is what you should do if you're going to go through the residue of your own old belongings.
How about keeping it clear until it is deemed safe?
By who? The EPA?
Yes.
The ones that just had a very bad reputation with New Palestine or East Palestine?
That's according to you.
Well, according to me, and I'd say half of the Western Hemisphere.
I disagree with you.
Okay, well, I mean, should we
half
go into
of the Western Hemisphere?
Shall we go into the East Palestine records and see how they're faring? Let's take a look. Actually, this would be interesting. Let's look at the aftermath of East Palestine and how they're doing today. Was it 6 months now? 6 months later. Hey, I'm rooting for EPA. I'm just saying, like these are the questions that the public has.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. No, not just me.
Conspiracy theorists.
Well, the irony is that I'd say a growing amount of moderates are actually wearing the idea of conspiracy theory with pride. It's like a badge of honor now because they know that the government just keeps fucking up left and right. Like we're not even going to go into the fire alarm issue.
Oxymoron, that,
well, there's definitely morons in the government right now.
Oxymoron,
not everybody.
Saying that, what did you say? Moderates and conspiracy theorists are basically one and the same.
Well, that's kind of interesting because if moderates tend to be very educated people that ask reasonable critical thinking, have reasonable critical thinking skills, and ask reasonable questions that the powers that be can't make concessions for, I don't know why they're considered conspiracy theorists anymore. The burden of proof goes more to the people in power, right? I mean, if you were to ask me a question and I am supposedly an expert in something and I can't make an answer for that, you probably start to grimace and go, this cat may not know everything, or he's not telling me everything about the situation. At worst, I could say, I don't know the answer, but I'll get back to you. That's fair. But when it becomes a recurring theme where people are just shut up, told to just, don't ask those questions, like the White House press secretary, like you just get annoyed and you're like almost in a condescending way. If you're her, when Peter Doocy asks you a question, granted, I can understand why you find the guy annoying, because all he does is torment you with just hardball questions.
No.
But they're questions that are.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Hardball. He gives hardball questions.
Well, much better than the softball questions that everybody
please.
else in the audience gives. All
Hardball.
right, so let's take a look. East Palestine. How are they doing today? What is East Palestine locate? Like, okay, how are they doing? Ohio Senator supportive, skeptical of East Palestine Recovery Coordinator. Wait, that's interesting. This is the newsnation.com, newsnationnow.com. And this is just a quick article we just kind of whipped out here. And I just looked up East Palestine today. Let's see. Man, I'm not finding much.
Why are we going to East Palestine?
Well, because they had a bad reputation. Okay, fine. For the sake of time, folks, look up East Palestine and see how they're doing today.
That can be another topic.
Okay, that'll be another topic for another time.
There was crying about, well, why didn't Biden visit the site? Trump visited the site. Trump didn't visit a single train accident with fatalities during his whole presidency. But yet, when he's no longer president, he's going to make a deal out of a train accident that had no fatalities.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that.
Okay. All right. They cried about Pete Buttigieg not showing up. He did go. He did arrive.
Pete Buttigieg. Wasn't that like a month later, though, after
it
like...
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No,
I mean, the thing was an issue
FEMA
right there.
Was right there on the spot immediately.
They said that the water was all right. They were telling people, like, it's not so hazardous. Then the people were getting headaches left and right, like in East Palestine.
And you're saying they got headaches from the water? Is that what you're saying?
They might have. They also might have gotten it from the toxic fumes all over the place. But who was responsible for not evacuating people?
Local government.
And FEMA, right? Or the EPA.
That's if it was determined to be hazardous. Okay,
so it wasn't hazardous even though
I saw a video where the local officials were drinking the water right there.
Are they still alive?
Yes, they are.
I saw lots of videos of local residents who were like, I've been getting headaches since this incident happened.
Okay.
I mean, again, if I was to just kind of do some quick observation, the townspeople say one thing, the government says something else, or the authorities. The government is supposed to be the experts, but then why are these people, feeling like they were getting shortchanged in terms of help? And I don't. Something doesn't sit right. Now we fast forward to Maui. Okay.
No,
and
we're past Maui again.
We're past Maui.
All right. We need to move on.
Okay,
because you gave me a bunch of homework.
All right. Fair. Let's go to the next one.
So Maui, EPA's on the case.
Yeah.
They're letting people back in once they've cleared.
Once they cleared all the shady evidence.
There are hazards.
Maybe.
And also recovery of people's bodies and the searches that are going on.
Sharing this video may give a friend a glimpse of hope, that ounce of strength they needed to rise above the ashes. So hit a like and don't forget to share content.